Hello, hello, and welcome to the show. I'm Nadia Jordana, and you're watching Where Women Talk. Our guest today is author Alicia Sanchez. She's published by Fox Point Publishing. Her book is titled Crafts Create Change. This is no ordinary book. Let's go meet Alicia and find out why I say that. Welcome, Alicia.
Hello, thank you.
It's so nice to have you on the show today.
I'm excited.
Well, now you have a new book, and I think it's titled Crafts Create Change. And I mentioned to the audience that this is no ordinary book. Tell us why that is.
Well, first, it's not just any crafts book because the crafts in this book is for you to make them and donate them to causes around the world. And sometimes we might think that these crafts are, just a pillow or just a robe or just a this, but there's meaning behind every single project. For example, one of the major projects in there is making bags for children in foster care. A lot of people don't know, but foster care kids, when they're ripped out of their homes last minute, they're given a trash bag and they're like, here, and they feel like trash. And there's a lot of nonprofits out there collecting bags. So our crafting community, they're awesome. We all know that creators or crafters or artists are sewing mavens. So we welcome them to make these projects and then donate them locally or globally. And we help with that in the process.
Oh, that is such a unique take and so important. Give us a couple more examples of what you would describe as positive change.
Absolutely. Positive change, I think it has to do with being open-minded to listening and understanding other people's lives and their experiences. I have a volunteer community, we're a nonprofit, and the number one thing is like people being open to other people's culture or their past or how are they feeling or again, experiences. I think positive change just comes from that and being open. Sometimes we don't have to agree on so many different levels, but I think that we can be able to just listen and see the point of view. And so this book, and not just the book and the nonprofit in general, there's ways that people can get involved to understand like how it all comes back to full circle. It's anything that has to do with children or the elderly or animals. We think sometimes that doesn't relate to us. I don't have that issue now, but it does. We don't think it because we aren't seeing it. But when it happens to us or when we know we're affected by it, we start looking at it differently. So I always say, like, even in the book, like, let's not wait till tragedy hits. Let's not wait till something happens directly to us. Let's get educated in what these issues are in the world or how we can get involved locally in our own community. A lot of people think, well, I can't make a decision what the mayor wants to say or what's this, but if you're getting involved and you're seeing the nonprofits in your community, you're seeing your children, the schools they're going to, or what's needed, now you have a better understanding of what you can do and how you can speak up. And so the book does that with these projects, but also we have community projects and how you can get involved within your community. A big one is a refrigerator, like donate a refrigerator and put it in a location in your community that there's probably the homeless community, or there's probably, where people might want to drop out, put some foods in there, and then people can take it as they go, or plants. It's like, we always say, let's provide the resources and the tools to show and educate people. Because if I give you something, then, okay, that's it. Have a nice day. But if I show you how to do it, it's differently. So yeah, that's just some positive examples.
That is absolutely positive. And I think through crafts, at least from my perspective, through crafts, it's more than just an understanding of other cultures. You're getting interested I think it makes it more interesting and fascinating. And if you can hold people's interest just a little bit longer, you're going to get more of your message across. So I think that's great.
Absolutely. And that's the thing about these projects that, we talk about women, we have a mastectomy pillow in here. People don't know the journey of that for a woman, and they might not know someone of it, but that mastectomy pillow can do so much in their recovery. Or in the elderly homes, they need love, they need support, they need to laugh, they need to feel, how can we go ahead and support them? People going through Alzheimer's or dementia or whatever. And it's just being educated and what's going on in the world. And it's not just in our homes, but how that affects the world. Because one thing that we do can affect the world. That's why recycling is huge, right? Exactly.
Absolutely. Well, now there's an organization that you founded, Dear
Mhm.
God, Are We There Yet? That
Yes.
title caught my interest. Tell us a little bit about that.
Absolutely. So, Dear God, Are We There Yet is a volunteer community. We connect causes and communities together through volunteering. That's how I pray. Dear God, that's always how I pray. And it's so crazy because everyone knows Dear God, It's Me, Margaret by Judy Blume. It's a book that I read when I was a child. I learned about being a girl in that book. I fell in love with that book. And I always was praying like that, like, Dear God, Dear God. And are we there yet? It's because we are, as people, human, we're always thinking about, like, are we there to success? Are we there to do this? But there is right now. And in my journey in life, I realized so many people have helped me, and just with their time. They didn't have to give me money, they didn't have to give me this, just with their time, with their listening, with their being supportive. And so I went through this journey. I was in the fashion industry. I was doing in the fashion, I was doing runways. And I started writing a book, Dear God, Are We There Yet? About how life is a road trip. It literally is. If you're in a car and you're driving and your tires, get a flat tire, you don't go buy a new car. You just get new tires, right? And it's the way of how our life is. And so I built this nonprofit because I'm passionate about a lot of different causes. And it's like, how can I relate that to other people? I know other people are too. So a volunteer community is because volunteers are the heartbeat of any nonprofit or cause. And so I wanted to bring that together. And so that's what we do. We just connect people either virtually or in person and get people volunteering. And again, volunteering doesn't have to necessarily be long hours or what people think it is. It could just be, what we're doing now and speaking or helping someone or sharing something. So yeah, and volunteering, of course, starts with ourselves, putting ourselves with that self-care, self-awareness. And so, yeah, I'm very passionate, and the book is part of the nonprofit.
Okay, I wondered about that too. Well,
Yeah.
now you have crafts in that book of
Yes.
different skill levels so
Yes.
that people of different levels can participate. Is that right?
Absolutely. The book is for beginners, intermediate, advanced. We have sewing projects and we have crafts. It's also great for families with kids, small children, to kind of get them into volunteering and kind of get them learning about social good. And I always say, I have a daughter, and I always say to other moms, I don't want to raise a spoiled brat. I want her to understand where money comes from, how the world works, why it's important to value things and love people and kindness. So this book really is for anyone who wants to get creative and wants to give back. And we've all seen with the pandemic that people have really rallied when they made the masks, and there was people just never knew how to sew and they were like making masks. This is exactly why another reason why I created this book, because I know that their people have so much love and they will figure out how to do certain things. And we have video tutorials, we have all the patterns. And so, yeah, it's something where you're learning at the same time. You're learning about yourself and you're taking time to help someone else.
Oh, I think that is just fantastic. And this just anchors my, excuse me, my thought that this is no ordinary book. There's so much more to it and so much more well-rounded. What kind of advice would you give to someone else who might want to either give back through your projects or even start something of their own?
So this is a quote that we say, you don't have to be rich or famous to help people. And as long as you remember that quote, it can mean just start. Just start. Open your arms to telling people what you want to do and start. There's so many people that they want to do a nonprofit, or they want to do a craft book, or they want to do something, and they're just, we sit in fear, and we sit in like what people will think or what people will this. Starting is taking a risk, and risks is doing, and doing makes change. So just think, you don't have to be rich to do any of these things, because there's a lot of amazing people, there's a lot of resources, and we are here as Dear God, Are We There Yet? If that's something that you want to do, we as a volunteer community, we will connect you with nonprofits, with other organizations. You can email us, you can go onto our website, and we will help you, because that is the power of understanding that you don't have to be rich to start something, and you don't have to be famous to make an impact. And so that would, my main advice is just start.
And I think in the last couple of years, more and more people want to give back.
Yes.
Because we're all feeling grateful in an unusual way. We've been through a lot, and we've been through a lot together across the board. And I think that helps a little bit to bring people together, and they more and more will want to give back. Well, is there something that I haven't asked you that you want to be sure that the audience knows?
Not that I would ask. I just want to add this because it's true what you said, and I love that statement that you just made. It's also thinking that we are all the same at the end. We're human. We're all the same. We don't realize this when we start to get to know each other. We realize that in a sense, we're the same as far as, and let me reiterate, we're the same as far as that love and kindness and support. Our experiences might be different, but just open up your arms. If you want to craft, if you want to make a call or drop in and help someone, like, do it. You don't have to share it on social media to show the world that you're volunteering. You're just do it because you love, or you want to help other people. So just make time, because time is the most valuable currency we have. Everything else will align itself. And that's basically what I wanted to share with everyone. And of course, contact us. You need help, you want to start something, you're not sure. We are a volunteer community. That's what we want to do, is help the community. I just want to mention we have an impact micro grant on our nonprofit. So if you are someone who has a social good project, doesn't matter what age you are, you can be 10, and you want some resources, you need some assistance, maybe a little bit of funding to help you get started, we have a micro grant. We help people right in the community, teachers who want to do like an extracurriculum class for kids, or maybe a neighbor who wants to help with awareness with spaying cats in the neighborhood. Something that has to do with social good, even an entrepreneur who has a business and they have a buy one, give one kind of model, and they need assistance. We're here. And that's all I want to say.
Oh, that's fantastic. And I like your publisher and the books that come out of that publishing house. How was the experience of getting that book published?
Oh my God. I have to say publishing your book is not easy, in the sense because you get so passionate about it. But what I love about Fox Point is that they are just as passionate, and they are not going to release anything until you are happy. And it's about being authentic in you. This book is me, meaning me in the sense that, like, no one's twisting my words. No one is making things sound a certain way. I'm being authentically me. And that's what I love. And not a lot of publishers do that, because they're all about the bottom line, which is, I get it. It's a business, but at the same time, you can't lose who you are. It's like someone trying to take over what you want to do. And you're like, no, you have your voice. And as a woman, sometimes we let that go because we want opportunity, or because we feel like we need to sacrifice. But no, we have to stand on our feet. And I just love Fox Point because of that. They understood that. And so, yeah, it's
I
a great
appreciate
experience.
that too. Well, Alicia, it has just been wonderful having you on the show. I am fascinated by this book, especially the depth behind the book of crafts. It's not just crafts. It's not something that just to occupy a person's time. It really helps people to help give something back to the community. And I think that's what we all are focused on right now. And I think that's very important. So thank you.
Thank you so much for having me. And thank you for everyone watching. Thank you.
And thanks to everyone watching. As Alicia said, we'll see you all next time on Where Women Talk.